organizing and doing the works to uplift our people mentally and physically and emotionally and spiritually. At this point in time, being here 2020, it's been an experience, and there's a lots of different issues and reason that has to be discussed and take place because of the fact that lots of our people are not quite aware of what's going on with their physiology, and it all starts from some point in time mentally. And so we'll discuss these things because the reality for our people is that the system, the governmental systems with the governances, they're saying that we are compromised and have underlying issues, and that's part of our demise and transition of so many of the people. And so you can ask me about CNCDs and CDs, and I also like to put a lot of emphasis in living within the seasons and detoxing and doing what we have to do to maintain our biological makeup and functioning. And also I'd like to discuss also dealing with the flu season, the winter, and the things that are associated with the winter also, and how we can start protecting ourselves. That starts in around December the 20th to 21st. And so we wouldn't have to be going through any more crises. And so I give thanks for being here again, Baba Pearson, to serve our community and share the knowledge that I've gotten from our ancestors, especially the ones in the holistic and natural living community. Some of them are allopathic, and some of them are holistic, some of them are naturopathic. Quite a few of them have transitioned, and the information that they shared with me, I'm readily and available to share it with our people, whoever is available for this information. So those that have ears, let them hear. Those that have eyes, let them see. Give thanks.
Yes. Brother Pierce, I want to thank you very much for that vibration that you just shared with us. All right, and before we get into the crux of this conversation, I just want to share with the people that the views and the opinion of this radio show is not the views and opinion of WCPP or WCOP or any of its affiliates. Okay, Brother Pearson, would you just please share with our listeners, a little background, how long you've been into this natural, medicine and sharing this natural way of healing and all of that with the listeners.
I personally, I have evolved into this earthly living, this natural living, the type of to explain it in a very simplistic way is that before 1945 or even before 1940, we were living primarily off the earth, and before and after so-called emancipation, we were living off of the earth. Just about everything that we were consuming came from the earth. It's not a very long time ago. And so our people, for some reason, including my ancestors, and just about all of us, we have allowed the system to put a chip in our head, our thinking. And we have evolved from organic. There was no chemicals being used in growing food, so everything was organic, and the price was the same. So that's part of the whole issues today with people and organic and pricing. And the fact remains everything is modified and GMO. And so our people like with blinders on, go to the supermarket, so-called, and purchase their foods. And so before 1945, 1940, these things wasn't happening. So today, it has evolved into our people being put in a category, or most people, they call it compromise and underlying issues. I'll go further into that also. So what we've been doing is reasoning with the people with our 4-season project and educating them about living within the seasons, and meaning that the people that come from the southern hemisphere to the northern hemisphere, there's different climate, it's different times of the year where certain foods are grown and given to us by Mother Nature, Mother Earth. And so it's very important that our people start to re-educate themselves and start to do the things that they're supposed to be doing to live in a more holistic and harmonious way. For me, myself, I didn't have any specific ailments. It's just something that happened that the ancestors and my teachers, I just evolved into learning more about African people culture, manifesting Guyana. Guyana is my nationality, and leaving and coming to North America. The thing, what happened with me is that I was blessed to have met men and women that was already learned elders, and so they were teaching us from the slave theater in Harlem at the Convent Baptist Church, the Baptist Church, Abyssinian Baptist Church, and other places, Reverend Dortry. And so I started to evolve around 1981, 83, up to now. This is where I am in terms of this holistic natural living, because I was just like everyone else, eating meats, beef, chicken, and fish. But I didn't have a specific situation develop, so I created an imbalance in terms of my mind and the food that I've been consuming. And so I didn't have those issues. So I am very grateful and giving thanks to the ancestors and the spirit that was guiding me through this process. And so I met people like Dr. Ignatius was one of our holistic and wellness teachers, spiritual teacher also. And then I met Dr. Africa, Dr. Sebi, Dr. Ando, Dr. Chisel, Dr. Jewel Pukram, and along the way, brethren like Phil Valentine, Dr. Love, Queen of Fua, and so many others. And my main teachers was like Dr. Davidson. He was from Brooklyn also. He transitioned. So all those names I mentioned transitioned except Dr. Valentine and Dr. Love and Queen of Fua. They're still here. And one of my other teachers was Brother Abby Sletten. And he was into the raw food, so I spent quite a lot of time with him also. And so I give thanks for all of those that shared their knowledge and their wisdom with me. And I was able to stop eating, drinking, and living a certain type of lifestyle that I was living before, and become more in tune with my I am self, with biome, and living in terms in harmony with nature, and connecting with my spirit, and doing the right thing for my biological makeup and functioning, because everything starts from within. And so I was guided through those processes. And so here I am right now. And this information, I don't own it. The information belongs to the people, because it's a wealth of information. And this radio station, I'm giving thanks for yourselves and Father, Brother Balance, brethren, to allow me to say a few words to our people. And so we can all start to go on this holistic natural living path, because the reality is that what is going on today, it never manifests around the time of emancipation, or so-called emancipation, and after emancipation. It just got more commercial, more mass production after around World War I, World War II, and distribution and shipping processed foods throughout the world. And so the organization that was started, like the World Health Organization, CARICOM, Pan American Health Organization, CDC, European CDC, and all these different health organizations throughout the world, they run by one system. Like the World Health Organization, they run like a banking system, like the Bank of England. That's a system that runs all banks. Even the Federal Reserve Bank in America, it's run by a system, just like the allopathic system throughout the whole world is run by a system. And so everything is processed. then they call it intellectual property rights. And so everything that comes naturally from the earth, nobody can patent it. So they have to go through a process to do what they have to do. And most of the things that they're doing have side effects on the physiology.
I want to cut you for a minute. So what about Monsanto who want to patent seed?
Well, they already have been doing that. That's been going on for quite a long time. And chemicals that they've been producing during they have the different scenarios that manifest in places like Vietnam and other places. And a lot of the chemicals and things that we're using to making a war equipment upstate New York is a place called Love Canal and other places. And they had to make a decision, so they get cahoots with the government and they start using a lot of these excess chemicals, and they start to use them as pesticides and herbicides for growing food. And then it created a lot of issues in places like India and other places, even in America, between America and Canada. It created a lot of issues with the people in terms of the farmers and cross-pollination and things like that. So this is something a lot of people are not aware of. So how the foods are modified is not in sync with our biological makeup and functioning. And so this creating a lot of imbalance in people. And from the time they started to